Subscribe to the Archivist 42 channel for gaming top 5s, reviews and more. Hi people, it's Archivist here, coming at you with yet another top 5. Games can often cause a lot of debate amongst us as an audience. Sometimes a sequel will be unfaithful to the pedigree of its series, and sometimes a conclusion will be painfully anticlimactic. In today's list, I will be going through the top 5 most critically polarising video games. To be clear, I'm not choosing games that are designed for very specific tastes, but instead games that have released to mixed reactions from critics.
Number 5.
ZOMBIU was released as a launch title for the Wii U, and it was very hard to work out if this game was worth playing. Some were praising its perilous world where even one zombie could pose a serious threat, whereas others slammed the game for being overly repetitive. The Wii U controller was put to good use here. Many of its innovative new features were showcased, such as the large touch-controlled screen. Although this did an effective job of showing what the Wii U could do, some users thought this made the game feel gimmicky.
Number 4.
Peter Molyneux has always struck me as a man with passion. He has tremendous vision for his games, but sometimes they just don't turn out how he said they would. It seemed as if Molyneux's drive for accessibility was making the FABLE games feel overly simplistic with each new iteration. Of the trilogy, I think it would be fair to say FABLE 2 was the most polarising. FABLE 1 was a widely praised game, whereas FABLE 3 was heavily criticised. FABLE 2 on the other hand fell somewhere in the middle. Although some enjoyed it as a decent action RPG, fans of the original FABLE felt the game had been scaled down for casual gamers.
Number 3.
Diablo 3 managed to create some vastly different impressions. I remember professional critics giving the game some very high review scores, but on the other hand, long-time Diablo fans were furious with some of the new features. Firstly, the game forced you to be online, which would have been fine if the servers weren't so strained at launch. Perhaps even more aggravating was the auction house, which changed the loot dynamic drastically from past games. I should say this divide of opinion has died down since Reaper of Souls was released, but there are still some people out there with an axe to grind.
Number 2.
The Mass Effect series displayed some of the best storytelling ever to feature in a video game. As a result, players felt an emotional investment in the characters. So, when the lackluster ending to the game was finally revealed to long-term fans, an outrage erupted across the web. Amongst the anger though, there were some who simply enjoyed the Mass Effect 3 story enough to overlook the anticlimactic ending.
It's number 1.
Call of Duty is polarising to say the least. There are passionate fans that sink hours into each instalment, and then there are critics who hate the series for becoming a glorified copy and paste job. This divide was not always present though. Ever since Call of Duty 4 the split has been growing, but I think it was probably the release of Modern Warfare 3 that annoyed people the most. The game was so similar to Modern Warfare 2 that many of us wondered if it could have just been DLC. In fact, there are even reports that the game recycled a large number of assets from Modern Warfare 2, and I personally don't find this too difficult to believe. Those were what I consider to be the top 5 most polarising games in recent memory. If you know a game or game series that has produced mixed reactions, let me know in the comments below. As always people, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.